did everybody get a copy of the latest thing? I just sent on another Rev.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rev 3, that's it. And the one thing I'm not clear on is that Adam sent me stuff on changing the general bylaw enforcement procedures. Is that in the, is that
I
it?
thought we had requested that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't, it's a general bylaw, so it wouldn't fall under the hearing.
right.
But when you met with the Board of Selectmen to talk about all this, when was that? It was in February, right? I have XX5. Oh, no, update enforcement, XX6. So that was the change to the general,
Yeah, I don't have it in the thing here. Okay. Why don't I have it in this?
I don't know.
That was just a thing if there was no specific item.
Correct, the catch-all.
Okay.
The catch-all for all the ones that don't have enforcement specified.
All right, so I got some work to do then to get the, you gave me the Townsend Affordable Housing Trust thing though, and I could have sworn I put that in here somewhere.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I need to fix that. So Adam must have sent me something. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Let's go.
So I guess one of the things that I sort of like to start thinking about is how we present this at town meeting. Because basically, we could each take an issue to make a motion, present the motion on. Does that make sense?
That works. I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know. It's hard to anticipate what's going to be coming back from the populace. And I don't know what sort of things we should say about. I mean, is it worth writing each person picking a topic and writing some sort of a presentation outline for it?
Yeah, I mean, typically haven't we had to submit a narrative? I know when I was on planning board, for anything we put up, we had to submit a narrative. We met these days, if there was a hearing, the hearing was on this date. reason for doing it. And, do you remember? I mean, when I was on the planning board, that's what we did. We did a
That's what,
narrative.
yeah. The planning board does that for every warrant article that they put forth. So,
Correct.
yeah, I don't know that the bylaw review committee, I mean, I'm thinking that would be optional. You could, you know, make it in report form, but again, that may be too formal because
No,
it's
I
not a
like the idea,
requirement.
but the narrative, I think, because
I think it's a good idea.
that's, so do we make that sort of a preamble to the motion?
Well, usually you make the motion and then the moderator says, is there a report? Or it's right after the motion that you can say, Mr. Moderator, I have a report. And then you read whatever it is that
Yeah, okay.
you've written.
Sounds good.
And then it's open to the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
So
like the senior center one the council on aging one that I brought forward, that's so simple. Would a report be required?
all you would say is, we have always done X, Y, Z. Nothing too long, or, you know, we've always done this, but the bylaw reflects this. Consequently, we are requesting the change from.
So I don't have to go over all the dates that we discussed it and all that for something else?
No, not for something like that. I don't think so.
Because I would gladly take that one.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I'll do the housing trust one. That's really simple too.
All right.
But it's you don't have to go, crazy on it.
Of course.
Yeah, obviously I'll volunteer to talk about the outdoor lighting stuff, unless anybody else wants to
Oh,
do
no,
it.
no.
I mean, I think, what I thought was that I'd probably very, very briefly in a summary form explain what we have now for lighting regulations, kind of explain we've actually had outdoor lighting has been regulated really since the 1950s, but most recently in 1997, and maybe in 1 minute explain what the current regulation is, and then explain why we wanted to update it and make it clearer, and and stuff like that. So it's an improvement on the current. And I would probably tend to emphasize that it has no limits whatsoever on how many lights you can install on your property or how bright they are. It only governs where the light goes, and so on, and explain the improvements.
Yeah, sounds good.
I just want to say the site plan review thing that I found out on Saturday. I'm looking at our site plan review. We don't ever mention lighting in it.
Parking lot lighting is mentioned. I forget where.
I mean, I'm skimming here, but
It talks about
on drive.
shrubberies in the parking lot, and I think lighting, but I don't know if.
But what aspect of lighting? Just that there has to be enough light, or that it has to follow the lighting bylaw and be
It doesn't
shielded?
say that it has to follow the lighting bylaw. It just says that there shall be lights in a parking area.
What I heard was, unless it's part of your process, it doesn't need to be considered. And if you look at G, it says this section, subsections A to G, is supplementary of other provisions of the zoning bylaw affecting access, circulation, design, and landscaping of parking areas. I'm looking for lighting. It could very well be here, but I'm not seeing it on a quick scan. I'm just wondering if that's the reason that it hasn't been necessarily followed.
Well, certainly if there were more processes that included somebody actually looking at whether it's being complied with, it would help. Because the way it's been all along is that if somebody complained, then the building commissioner would take a look, and if he or he determined it was not in compliance, he'd send a letter. But right, there was no process that I'm aware of where before something was built, like it was somebody actually made sure that it was, that any lighting complied.
And really, it's pretty much anything that requires a site plan, goes through site plan review.
Oh, Michael, what about the high school sign? That's a case where
Well,
that went through
how did the
site plan
sign get,
review.
how did the sign exist? Something
Yeah.
failed, right?
Right,
Oh,
so that's a
well,
case, so I'm just
are you
pointing out a
kidding us?
case where, yeah, that went through site plan, but yeah.
Here it is, walks and lighting, okay.
Well, nobody looked at whether it complied with in that case, it would be what is now the public lighting bylaw. I think actually, I actually looked into that, and
Yeah.
I think it wasn't interpreted that the public lighting bylaw had any effect on signs. It was, I actually got in touch with one of the engineers who was involved in that, and she said, oh, well, that's not site lighting. I don't even know what that's jargon. I mean, I'm an engineer, but that's jargon. So I don't know. I assume she meant by site lighting
Okay.
that, you know,
Parking
parking
lots,
lots.
yeah.
But I mean, there's
roads and
nothing in
stuff.
the bylaw that excludes signs also, but they
Well, I
interpret
There's
it.
tried to get
nothing
rid of
that
that. I
specifically
tried to get rid of that
calls it out.
sign.
Yeah.
You know, and I even talked to the police chief and I said, you know, the speed limit is 40 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And that thing is gonna have all this information on it. And if people are driving by reading that sign, they're gonna go a couple 100 feet without looking at the road.
Yeah,
And I said, that's not healthy for our high school students.
right. But
But
unless,
he wouldn't give me an opinion that I could use to shoot the thing down,
well,
so.
what about the lighting, just the fact that it doesn't comply with the lighting bylaw, unless the consensus was, well, that doesn't apply to internally illuminated signs, I don't know.
Does the one that we have, that we're proposing, would it cover that sign at the high school?
Well, yeah, because it does explicitly say the definition of a light includes signs, so I think it should, it's a little more clear.
But it's not, it's not an internally illuminated sign, it's a computer display.
Well, whatever it is,
Oh.
it's a light, I mean, it's clearly a luminaire, you know.
Right,
So it should be subject to the bylaw, but
Yeah.
it just got.
well, like I say, I tried to get it deleted, but I was unsuccessful.
Yeah,
Well, the other thing that got me was that they were using the Harbor Village retention pond as part of their stormwater drain system.
Mm.
And to me, that's just totally not kosher. I mean, if there's any excess capacity in the Harbor Village storm drain, it's not up to somebody else to say, oh, we're gonna use that. I mean, hello. But that whole, yeah, it's unbelievable.
yeah.
It's a whole system that the state has going with the prevailing wage, so you're paying twice as much as it should cost, at least. And you know, they came in with the chemistry lab drain. They were going to put in a pH corrector. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, what about all the pollutants? You want to put those into my aquifer? So we ended up when we forced them to tight tank that and pump it, you know, because we didn't want it in the aquifer for sure.
Yeah.
And they must have thought we were idiots that would, you know, we would have been impressed by this pH correction.
Hmm.
You know, that usually gets me going.
You mean people would be pouring chemicals down the drain and it
But
would
they
just be going
correct the
into a.
pH before it went in.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Wouldn't solve the problem. It's not that the pH is the only problem in the lab.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've already lost all our alkalinity because it's acid rain, which has gotten less, but it still was enough to kill all our alkalinity. You know, when I was on the planning board, we used to have water testing done by these two guys who were PhDs. I forget the guy's name, but they were characters. But they would go through and they'd tell us everything we needed to know about the water quality. It's phenomenal. All right, so So we got,
So you're doing
can I
the,
borrow a pen?
No,
or
go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got time.
you're doing the lighting. Greg's doing the council on aging. I'm doing the housing trust.
I'm watching.
Bill, you're doing the
Still,
accessory apartments.
I'm going
Yeah, that's cool. I need
Then there's the
I need
noise.
somebody who could do the noise without me being involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, that's really.
No,
I am.
I hate to be a
I'd rather watch
lightning rod
Learn from
on
you
that
guys
one.
at this meeting.
Well, I'll do noise. I mean, hey,
Why
you
not?
want a lightning
right?
rod, that's me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, you've got a lot of evidence for that one.
That's right.
I don't mind doing noise. I'll look at it.
I'm gonna take notes.
Then there's updating enforcement, and there's the contract with general code.
I'm not knowledgeable with that.
I can talk about the contract if you want, or, yeah, myself or Jessica. Or,
The contract with general code, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And then the enforcement update. I can do that one too. Why am I volunteering for all of this?
I volunteer for everything else. I'm watching the phone now.
We're gonna get you a lot of sedatives before you go. so-
I have a key to the VFW. Okay. I know how to get in here.
Well, the TAHT one is easy, and so is the enforcement update, but that will be,
That'll be good.
people will be opposed to that, because nothing should ever be enforced.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
I know that now. Okay.
So do we have to vote on any wording of any of this, or are we basically all set with what's being submitted?
Well, what you might want to think about if you're going to be presenting something is writing the narrative, about how we got here.
When does that have to be in?
Before it's delivered, I guess. That's
I
about it.
think we should look at, like nothing before the week of April 15th for me, at least.
Yeah, me too.
You too, when do you get that?
April 9th.
9th, yeah, so we want to look at either the 15th or the following week.
And I'm gone till the 17th on a trip for 12. I'm gone for 12 days, 5th to 17th.
Okay, so let's look at the 22nd.
oh, are you
So-
talking
What
April?
is this?
Are you talking
Yes.
April?
Yeah.
So
That's
we're gonna
election.
write-
Just
Yeah,
to
the
write
20.
up what we're gonna read at town
Yeah.
meeting. And to
But I don't
review
think
it,
you
know,
can't
the-
meet. Yeah, you can't meet during the annual election. So the 22nd is the annual election.
Oh,
we can't
okay.
do that.
All right,
29.
that's, putting us pretty close to town meeting.
Oh, okay.
When is town meeting?
Um,
When they, what?
May 9th or something.
Oh,
it's the first Tuesday, May 7th.
And so, like I
Oh,
said,
okay, so, well, if we meet the 29th, our only other option is meeting the 6th, if there's something that needs edited. So can we do a day other than a Monday?
yeah,
Sure.
anything.
Could we do like Wednesday, the 24th?
Yep.
When's school vacation week?
I don't
Anybody
know.
know?
What? Another?
It's the week of the 15th.
Okay.
I actually won't be able to do the 24th.
I'm not available on Wednesday.
Later, like the Thursday, I could do after that, but
25th?
The 25th.
I could do
The
the 25th.
25th,
Yeah.
let's do that. That
25th?
gives us
Yeah.
another week if we
Yeah,
need.
April
a
25th
time.
at 4.
Yeah, Wednesdays are
4
good
Yeah.
days for me
I'll
to
do
do
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so,
All right.
so the narrative would be like just a sort of description and, in full sentences, like a little few paragraphs about what summarizing the proposal.
Yeah.
But in terms of speaking at town meeting, I mean, I would tend to just write little bullet points or, for myself. I mean,
right, right.
but for this, it's more of a
Yeah, and
full
it gets
description.
turned in to the moderator. The narrative does.
The narrative does. Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be long. It's just we have.
But it isn't something we literally read.
Yes. Yeah, you read it.
Oh, it is? It has to be read?
You read it.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
best way to do it.
Yeah.
And
I've
you
always
just
done.
want to try to anticipate questions,
Okay.
and answer them before you know.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
the
it's,
reason we did this, the town has a zoning lighting bylaw and a general bylaw.
Mhm.
It made sense to incorporate it into one.
And just read that, and then, if any
Yeah.
questions come up, I suppose it could go from there. But,
Yeah, or anything else that you want to say about it.
I mean, I could,
4 o'clock on the,
not that I'm saying I will, but,
Yeah, oh, that's
I don't know
right.
okay.
Oh,
are
that's
you
right.
really reading it word for word, or is it kind of a guide to?
I have always read the narrative word for
Okay,
word.
well, keep that in mind, just when I write it, yeah.
Yeah, I have never ad-libbed
Uh-huh.
the
Okay.
narrative.
Right.
And I haven't tried to anticipate every question either.
Uh-huh.
No, you're not going to be able to, but
No, I've
there's
always
some
just,
obvious
here's the
ones
reason.
that
for
we can
doing
think
it.
of.
Right.
This is why it makes sense.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So I have a quick question about the quote from General Code. One of the questions that may come up is, did we get other quotes? And I'm wondering if the committee would like me to do that in preparation for that question.
Yeah.
Because I know, it may come up, it may not, but I'm thinking,
Did we
procurement.
ask for other quotes?
Nope. But I mean, you could do it now. It couldn't hurt.
The reason is that general code did our stuff last time.
Okay. So
You
I'm fine
know,
with that. Yeah. I mean,
but
we are all in
from a-
agreement, but I know if the question arises, we would like to be,
No, I'm sure
From a-
somebody will ask that question.
From a
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
purchasing
Yeah,
standpoint,
they will.
there are rules around that. So you might want to talk to Eric or Katie.
Okay. Okay.
And
I can look
ask
into
them
that.
if maybe we should.
Yep.
I don't
Procurement
know.
law.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's good due diligence to
Okay.
have at least one other quote, if not two.
Okay. I'll take a look at that. And bring
It's
that.
hard to believe they're going to be undersold though, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's just that, they gave us the logins because how we got the logins for, they're the ones that
They do
did
everything.
this
Yeah.
for
It
us
makes
way
total
back when.
sense. Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Yeah. All right.
If it's under a certain dollar value,
You don't need three,
we don't need three.
right? And I don't know
That's
what
right.
that dollar value is anymore.
Isn't
Well,
it
especially if they bill us on two different fiscal years.
isn't it like 15,000 or 10,000 or it's something?
It was under 10, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is now.
Okay.
I think you needed 3 if it was 25K or more.
I think it's under 15 because we just hired a cleaner
Mhm.
at the senior center, and I want to say that it's under 15,
Okay,
which this
which makes sense.
is.
Yes. 14.5.
Yeah. Everything has gone up, and if it's under 15, you don't. It was 10, but
Yeah.
it must be 15
I mean,
now.
we should check with Eric on that or Katie,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I think it's 15 now.
Okay. I'll just send an email. And I'm going to sign off. So have a great afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, you
Bye.
too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You too, Ben.
You're welcome.
So I guess my question is there anything that the wording still needs to be resolved that we're submitting? I think,
I mean, on lighting, I updated after our meeting a week ago. I sent it to Bill, right? And basically just adopted the changes we talked about. I don't know if anybody wants to go over it, but
no.
I think you got a copy of it.
Well,
a couple days ago.
we'll see what the zoning bylaw, the change to the accessory apartment, may be modified by the planning board hearing. But
Other than that, we're good.
I think we're good, yeah.
Okay.
So this has to get sent to whom? I mean, once, like, how does it get into the official warrant of the meeting, town meeting?
Well, Sabrina, I'll talk to Sabrina about that, but she's the one that's, I think, conjoining the selectmen into whatever they're doing, so.
She'll compile the warrant,
Yeah.
and they have to vote on it,
Mhm.
the final wording.
Mhm.
When they go to post, when they vote to post, they'll review it. We always did it almost every other meeting between February and May. But I don't know what they're doing in the work. I haven't been paying attention.
Which is a great relief,
Yes.
no doubt.
So, anyway.
And I'm sorry if I ask dumb questions, but this is the first time I've been involved with this kind of stuff. And I just want to make sure we meet all our obligations.
Oh, that's good.
Do we have everything from Adam that we need?
I think so.
Okay, because I think next week is his March office hours, if you need to get on his schedule for
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I mean, there were some unresolved questions on lighting. He had all these comments and then he never got back to me, but I don't know. I guess we kind of agreed on all the issues. I don't know if there's any reason to talk to him anymore. I mean, he had suggested the grandfathering language, if you recall, that we would, but I brought up, well, we don't want a grandfather regarding existing regulations. We all agreed we were going to just mention the new sections. So I don't, hopefully that's okay. I wouldn't mind making sure with him that that's okay, but, or just assume it is, because why wouldn't it be?
Okay. That's all I can think of at the moment.
So have our narrative by April 25th, and that's our next meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. On Thursday.
We bring that here in writing, or do we submit it electronically beforehand?
The narrative,
Right.
I suppose it would be kinder to submit it a couple of days before the meeting so people could read it.
So if we got them to Sabrina by the 22nd,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Monday.
Sounds good.
When is this, hearing? April 1st.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
let me
that's
back up.
right.
When does the warrant have to be in? So if the meeting is the 7th, the 30th, the warrant needs to be in on the 23rd of April.
And we
But
just
that
said,
wouldn't affect our narratives, correct?
right.
It's only if there's anything after the 1st that needs.
No, we should be able to meet that easily because,
We would want to meet before the 23rd.
well, unless, I'm gonna be at the planning board hearing, so I mean, I could just take whatever I get from the planning board and modify the thing and send it out to everybody if it needs to be modified.
And if there's something that needs voted on, we need to meet before the 25th, before the 23rd. naturally. Correct?
Well, I don't know. Do you think we need to vote on any changes that are proposed by the planning board?
I think it depends on the change. You know, if it's changed this word to that word and it's not as significant, it doesn't significantly affect anything.
Right. I don't expect them to modify anything. But,
Okay.
I mean, they may decide to not approve our warrant article, but that's another whole kettle of fish.
If that happens at this point, it's not going before town meeting.
That's correct. There won't be time.
Hmm?
If they make a big change, there won't be time for it to go to
Right.
town meeting.
That's right. Yeah. So.
Okay.
You sent me the TAHT.
I did.
I remember putting this in here and I don't know where the hell it went.
Do you want me to send it to you again? I'm sure I have it. I can do that. And I sent it to Sabrina too, to,
Affordable Housing Trust Amendments, right?
yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There it is.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna copy this and paste it into my,
I mean, really, it's just changing numbers, you know, they are actually typos.
wow. Genuine typos. It's got this cute feature in it, Windows 11, I'm learning, where you can do a select, and you don't have to hold anything down, you just click on the one end of it, and you expand to get what you want, then you have to click at the other end. I keep forgetting. Closing the selection. All right, well, I don't need to keep you guys here doing this. Anything else anybody wants to talk about?
Make a motion, we
I
adjourn.
second the motion. You asked.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I second.
Oh, good.
All in favor?
Okay. We got nobody on the remote, so everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That was easy.